Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe, episode 22.
It's time to reverse the imbalances in your life as you take the first step on your own journey towards personal change. Welcome to Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe, educating, empowering, and inspiring individuals to live healthier. Now here are your hosts and your guides to natural living, Jamal and Kim.
Hi, Kim and Jamal here, and welcome to another episode of Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe podcast. This is our recap episode where we, Jamal and I, get on and discuss the Monday episode that we released and give our feedback, our takeaways, and discuss any other things that come to mind from that podcast. So, as I mentioned, my name is Kim, and I'm joined with Jamal.
Greetings, everyone.
And
peace and blessings.
Yes. And this Monday, we released episode number 21. The title of it was Taking Responsibility of Your Health, featuring MerySerket. MerySerket is a good friend of ours. We consider her family. And it was really good having her on the show. And we want to say thank you, Mary, for joining us. And we're very proud of you and continue the good work that you're doing. And we got a lot of great feedback for this show. I really enjoyed it. You know, I listened to it. We always re-listen to our podcast to also share value, but also we get value from it to stay inspired and educated on this path and empowered to stay on this path. And, you know, taking responsibility for your health is so very important, not just with your health, but just every aspect of your life, because if you don't, you'll become a victim of it. And that podcast episode was so very important. It was so that information cannot be said enough. Just taking responsibility of your health and what that means. And one of my key takeaways from the episode was, you know, kind of like a common theme with holistic health practitioners, Jamal, and that was most holistic health practitioners go into this industry because they had to heal themselves. And by taking this path, transforming their lives and just understanding the connection between feeling healthy and vibrant and having a good quality of life, you know, it inspires many people on this path to pursue it as a profession and to help others on the same path and help them on their journey. So that is always a key takeaway when we talk to any of our guests who have healed themselves, been on that journey, felt the transformative effects, and was so inspired to going to this as a profession.
Yeah, definitely. And for starters, I just want to say thanks, Mary, for joining us.
Yes,
on the show. It was a lot of fun. We always have fun. Mm-hmm. So that was cool. And we covered a lot of things in that show, and it just got me to really thinking just some things that Mary was talking about as far as like the pharmaceutical industry and the commercials that come on as far as drugs are concerned, and just how, you know, weird she thought that was to, you know, look at these different commercials about drugs. And it makes me think about this song that Bilal did called Robot. And he talks about the programming, and he asks, are you a robot? And, you know, we just go through the motions of life a lot of times. We live in autopilot and we don't really think about things. And there is so many different programming that goes on, and it programs us to do things that we don't even think about. So this name that we call the show, Taking Responsibility of Your Health, it requires you to go against the programming.
Right.
You know, a lot of times it's very difficult for people to understand that mainstream industry does not have your best health at heart.
Right.
You know, that is not their intention. Like, they're just thinking about capital gain. And, you know, people are saying, well, what about the CDC, and what about the FDA, and all of these other abbreviated names, what about these people? And they really think that they're out to protect them. But if you do your research and you begin to look a little bit deeper, you just begin to see that everything isn't as cracked up as you think it is. Everything isn't as in your benefit as you thought it was. And the more you look into it, you begin to see that, it's quite the opposite. It's quite the opposite a lot of times, and it can be very scary. And the only person that is going to really care the most about your health is yourself.
Right.
If you sit back and you just listen to what other people are telling you to do with your health and to do with your body, you're at the mercy of someone else.
Right.
Sometimes maybe they do have your best interests at heart, but a lot of times, unfortunately, they don't. We were talking to Mary in the last show, and she was talking about her mother and losing her mother to cancer. And, due to her smoking for a very long time, she ended up getting cancer in her throat, and it led to her transitioning. And it's unfortunate. And it just makes me think back. I wasn't alive, but I look back at different marketing and advertisements that are out there about cigarettes. And there was a time where cigarettes were actually pushed as being healthy. It was pushed as, boosting your vitality and bringing health to your life. And people had the same way they feel about different industries. They have our best interests at heart, in the medical industry and so forth. Just looking at it about them caring, cigarettes were pushed as a healthy thing to do. They even got doctors involved. There's commercials and advertisements and things like that of doctors actually recommending cigarettes. So,
right.
We get people hooked on cigarettes, and then we come back and say that, this is not good. This is actually bad. It's causing cancer. It's causing health problems. And they leave it on the market to actually be legal, so it is legal to smoke cigarettes. It caused damage to your health. There was a time where cocaine was actually legal. Right now, alcohol is legal, and you can drink alcohol and you can destroy and deteriorate your health. There's so many different things that are on the market that you can do to damage yourself. So it's not about, controlling, helping to manage and create the best healthy situation as possible. It's about money. It's about making money. So it's important for you to understand the things that are out there. When we look at sugar, for example, sugar is a drug chemically. When you look at what it takes to make white sugar, it's technically a drug, but it is legal, but it will destroy your health. So we can go on. we can go on for the entire night, just breaking down all of the things that are out there that are very bad for your health. And they're legal. They're not illegal. They're legal. You can go to any store and you can get these things. So how do you navigate through the chaos? How do you navigate through the craziness? And the only way to do it is to empower yourself,
right? To
educate yourself so that you understand what it is that you're doing, so that you can understand what it is that you're putting in your mouth, so that you can understand what it is that you're putting on your body. What are you putting in your hair?
And understanding how your body works.
Yeah, understanding how your body works, how your body reacts to the environment and things going on around you and how it interacts with other people. You have to understand that. It's important for you to understand that in order to navigate through the chaos and the craziness. And that the past show really just made me reflect on that. You know, it's literally a minefield out there. Mm-hmm. And you have to look at that and understand that that's what it is. It's a minefield. And with every step, there could be an explosion. We look at all of the different health challenges that are really kind of exploding. All of these health challenges that are exploding. So we're walking on a minefield. So you have to equip yourself with the knowledge to understand, how do I walk through this minefield safely? You know, and that's something to think about.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things that you just mentioned was the unfortunate experience for MerySerket to have her mother pass away when she was young, and not really knowing about her illness until the end. And that is a subject that must be spoken about amongst families. You know, Mary mentioned that, you know, she didn't know that her mother had cancer until the later stages. And I think that's just unfortunate, but it happens in so many families. Sometimes, you know, being a mother of a 5-year-old, Sora is going to be 6 next week. I couldn't imagine of having to share something like that with her if I had a terminal illness. And so many families, they do it out of love, or they think that they're protecting their family. But, you know, the truth, that what they always say will set you free. And knowing your family history can help you so much so in the long run. You know, for our children, we do not have to show that we're perfect. We have to show that we're human beings striving to be the best that we can, getting better each and every day. And that will help our children so much further in life, because you're going to face obstacles. You're going to face challenges. You're going to face roadblocks. And no one goes through life unscathed. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to get knocked down, but you have to keep getting back up and fighting. And as our children are ready to hear these messages, you know, same thing with illness. You know, let your families be there to support you during your journey. Maybe someone can offer alternative ways to deal with this. Someone can be a helping hand. You don't have to suffer in silence. And that was a key takeaway from me, you know, for families to start opening up and sharing that burden with one another, and you don't have to suffer alone.
Yeah, definitely. And also, especially with the men, we can have really, really big egos, be too macho to let people know what's going on in our lives. We're taught to be tough. You know, we're taught to not allow ourselves to be vulnerable. And because of that, a lot of times we suffer in silence. And it doesn't have to be like that. You know, we're human beings, and we can be sick. We can have health challenges. And it is important to allow our families to be there and allow ourselves to get help, because sometimes, a lot of times, we don't have all of the answers.
Right.
And by sharing what's going on with your health, you can allow your family to not only support you and be there for you, not only to give you that positive healing energy and support that you need, but also to serve as additional brains, additional thinking, tanks to help you to make the best decision possible to help with your healing process. I recently had, I'll share this. I recently had a family member. It was a male figure in the family, and he suffered for 10 years with cancer, and he didn't tell anyone. He didn't tell not one person in his family. He didn't even tell his wife. So no one knew that he had cancer. No one knew what he was going through. We had no idea until he passed away. He got sick. His health, in our eyes, his health went downhill super fast. And the next thing you know, he's passing away, transitioning, and we lost him. And come to find out that he had cancer and he was dealing with cancer for 10 years. It was something that's actually treatable. It's treatable naturally. It's treatable medically. And there are things that can be done to reverse and prevent these things. And had he shared it, it's very possible that he would still be here. So I really encourage the men out there to, don't feel so masculine. Don't be so masculine that you don't share what's going on in your life. And I just want you to know that for the men and the women, it's not your fault. Ultimately, it's not your fault because you just didn't have the education to know what to do. You didn't know what to do. Your health is poor right now. You didn't know what to do. You didn't have the tools. You were never given the proper tools, and you were actually deceived. You were deceived. And the crazy thing about it is sometimes we're given tools of destruction.
Right.
And we think that those tools are going to help us, and it's really deteriorating our health. So it's not your fault. You didn't know. But at the same time, now you do. Now it's time to take personal responsibility for your health and understand that there is something that you can do about it. So moving forward from this point, actually from a lot of points in multiple shows, but maybe you're a first time listener, and we welcome you. But from this point, it's important to understand that you can empower yourself and you can be healthy. You can be optimum and you can reverse the damage that has been done because of a lack of education.
Right. And, one other thing that we discussed during the show with Mary, being that this show is definitely an advocate for natural health, alternative health, a natural lifestyle, it can come across as if we're bashing Western medicine. And we always like to say Western medicine has a time and place in our lives. That's certainly for emergency medical care. But a lot of times Western medicine falls in the framework of detection, not prevention. And we're all about preventative health, getting on the front end and not working from behind to have a miracle. Natural health, holistic health can certainly reverse imbalances within the body. But when you're coming from the front end, living and having a balanced life, putting things in your body, consuming things, living a happy life, raising your vibrational frequency, understanding the power of the breath, understanding the power of the foods that you consume, understanding about the people you hang with, the career that you have. Are you happy day in and day out? How do you live your life? How do you leave your home? The interconnectedness of everything, that is living a holistic lifestyle. But, sometimes Western medicine, a lot of people just rely on that as the be all, as the holy grail. And we're just here to say you have to, as the name of the podcast title was, take your health in your own hands, take responsibility for your health. And, when you get advice from a health practitioner, really, do you understand what they're explaining to you? Do you understand the processes that is going on? Or are you just taking it just on a grain of salt and by faith and hoping that it works out? Because if you take responsibility for your health, you'll take that time to do your due diligence and understand what is going on. Why am I taking this medication? Why am I consuming even a supplement? Ask the question so you know the answers, and you're doing it because of an educated opinion, because you're taking responsibility for your health. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, great point. And as a holistic health professional and practitioner, I'm the first person to say that I actually like the medical industry. I don't have a problem with it. I know a lot of practitioners, it seems like they speak against it, but I actually don't have a problem with it. I actually think that it's amazing. I think that some amazing things are being done in it. Someone loses a limb, and the fact that it could be reattached in
right.
how, a bone could be shattered into 100 pieces and they can literally reconstruct bones and ligaments and
right.
things of that nature. I think that it's amazing. Personally, I really like it. I just feel that they have a lack of education and understanding of the natural side of things, and the fact that they don't look at it or don't study it mainstream wise. It's left out, and that's a bigger piece of the puzzle. So a lot of times we're just left with that, which is the later phases if needed. But the natural stuff should come first. Like that's really the problem. That's the issue. It's not, the power of it. You just got to put things in perspective here. Like your body, for example, vitamin C, really good for connective tissue, really good for your immune system, antioxidant, cancer fighter. You can be deficient in vitamin C, and because of that, you may get sick more often.
Mm-hmm.
Your threshold for stress may be lower. You may bruise easily and not absorb other minerals such as iron and things of that nature. You can be deficient in vitamin C, and because of that, your body will go out of balance. So you can take additional vitamin C or eat vitamin C rich foods to bring your body back into balance. But on the flip side of things, you can't be deficient in pharmaceutical drugs. You can't be deficient in over-the-counter drugs. You're not going to be deficient in Advil. You're not going to be deficient in Advil, so you have to take Advil to bring your body out of deficiency. I mean, think about that. The way we take medical drugs as if they're vitamins, as if they're like they're supplements, and we're supplementing to bring our bodies back into balance. And that's just not the case. Like, just really think about it. So just the way that we see and picture health is just, it's out of order. It's out of order, and it's just not the way that it is. So I think it's a great point to bring it up. We definitely don't have a problem with the medical industry. I just think that we just need to re-educate ourselves on its place, as well as the place of taking a holistic approach to bringing your body into balance and keeping your body into balance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, my last takeaway, and, I got a kick out of MerySerket's name,
Yeah.
The Water Whisperer.
The Water Whisperer.
The Water Whisperer. But it was a very powerful piece of the podcast when she just kind of went in on the importance of consuming good quality water, what that was. And her response to people who say they don't like water. And it was certainly a motivating part. I mean, it encouraged me during editing to get up and get some water when I was editing the podcast. But, hydration, our body is made up of over 75% of water. It needs to be hydrated for our bodies, our organs, our systems to operate effectively. You need it for digestion. You just need it for everything. You feel so much better when you properly hydrate your body. And unfortunately, a lot of people consume things that dehydrate the body. So, you might think, oh, I'm doing something with a little bottle of water. And I'm not knocking it, because a little water goes a long way. It's better than no water.
Yeah.
But you want to keep improving upon that and consuming a little more and a little more. And when you properly hydrate your body is going to thank you for it. And so Mary went in on the water just her mission to educate people on consuming good quality water and why that is so important.
Yeah, you know, I'm very, very grateful that there are some people out there that have created the technology to be able to produce superior water. I'm happy about that. But at the same time, I am sad that
we have to get to that point.
Yeah, that we have to get to that point that we just can't go outside and get water.
Right.
You know, I sit down and I talk to the elders, especially my dad. He grew up in North Carolina, and like they had an old school well pump. You know, you just go out and you just hit that handle and you just, pump the water. And you get fresh water right from underground springs. And we went to visit my godmother in South Carolina, and it wasn't working anymore. But right on the property, less than a mile away, she had one of those good old fashioned pumps where you're pumping from the spring. Mm-hmm. What I wouldn't give to be able to walk outside right now and pump from one of those springs to get some real electrical water from the planet Earth. Right. It was designed for us, to give us what I wouldn't give to be able to do something like that right now. It's just so unfortunate that we're to this place where, technology has to get involved with us to just have something that was God given.
It has to be manufactured.
Yeah, like that's crazy to me.
Sure is.
That's crazy to where we are, what point we're at in our, society and where it is going and what has developed. So this is what I say, wherever you are on the planet, because our show is international now. We got people listening all over the world. What I say is jump online and do a search and see if you have any natural springs in your area, and go get some fresh, real water from Mother Nature, from Earth. Go do it. Trust me, it'll change your life and perspective. The stuff is amazing. You don't have to go to a bottle, which is crazy. We don't have to transform the water coming from a tap. We do what we have to do. But if you can find a spring, take advantage of it. Yes. If there's a spring around you, go take advantage of it.
It's electrical.
Yeah, you have to. I was just doing a search, during the summer to try to find a spring for us to go to. I mentioned in the last show, we used to travel an hour to get to a spring so we can drink straight, from, Mother Nature's tap. And, they closed that down, and I was doing a search, and the closest spring to us is 2 hours away. Wow. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. It's 3 hours away, and it's in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
So we can't even really get there. We might have to, make that a day trip.
Right.
And spend a night down there and come back the next day, which is crazy. So definitely take advantage of that. If you can find a spring by you, take advantage of it, because you just might go there one day and it'll be gone.
Right.
That's where we're at. And it's tapped. Some company bought it, and now they're throwing it in a bottle for you to buy on the shelf. So, I'm good. I'm gonna leave it on that. I think it was a great show.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Yeah, it was good to reflect on it a bit.
Yeah, definitely. And before we go, if you have not had a chance to listen to episode 21 with MerySerket, just go over to jkhealthtribe.com/21 and you can access the show there. So stay tuned for episode number 23. I believe on Monday, we have another great episode for you, and make sure you go over to jkhealthtribe.com and sign up for our weekly newsletter that we send out each and every week, to help educate, empower, inspire you to live healthier. And also it'll keep you abreast of anything Jamal and I are doing in the future. Okay. So until next time, live healthier.
Definitely. Health is wealth. Peace and blessings.
We hope you enjoyed your time with Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe. To keep you on your path towards a happy, healthier lifestyle, we encourage you to visit jkhealthtribe.com for a free copy of the 8 effective ways to lose weight and keep it off, as well as more content to help you find your health balance. Thanks again, and we look forward to educating, empowering, and inspiring you to live healthier.